Zhu Hai's consciousness suddenly awoke. He took a breath of spiritual energy, regaining some of his senses, and then extended his divine sense. On the surface, he saw two hunting dogs sniffing ahead, while behind them came the sound of human footsteps. These are trained hunting dogs. They can smell snakes. Zhu Hai thought, alarmed. Zhu Hai knew these hunting dogs well. Wherever a snake had passed, they could sniff it out and easily find the snake's hibernation spots. However, Zhu Hai was hiding 20 meters underground and had deliberately covered his scent with bear dung. There was no way they could smell him. Sure enough, the two hunting dogs sniffed for a moment, then backed away in panic, moving to the other side. The group behind them quickly changed direction and continued their search. Zhu Hai breathed a sigh of relief. Even if they found him, they couldn't do anything at such a depth. But having such a large group of people wandering above him was quite a headache for Zhu Hai. What a bother, I can't even hibernate in peace, Zhu Hai grumbled to himself. Before long, the hunting dogs started barking, and the hunters gathered around, digging up a large stone to find a hibernating snake beneath it. The snake was 2 meters long, a forest rattlesnake. Its meat was edible and its venom could be used for refining medicine. The hibernating snake was cold and stiff as iron, completely immobile. The humans cut off its head, extracted its gallbladder, skinned it and put it in a bag. Zhu Hai watched the entire process without any emotional reaction, just hoping they would leave quickly. However, things didn't go as he wished. It's getting late. Let's start a fire and eat. We'll head down the mountain after we finish, the leader shouted. All right. Instead of leaving, the large group gathered around, piling up firewood in an open space. Zhu Hai was so angry he almost cursed out loud. Of all places to eat, they had to choose here. At this moment, he noticed the two leaders, a handsome young man and a chubby middle-aged man. Both were wearing blue-black python robes, exuding an extraordinary aura with faint spiritual power fluctuations within them. These python robes were the attire of snake catchers. Snake catchers. Zhu Hai's eyes flashed. Without a doubt, this was a snake catching team led by a snake catcher. Every winter, they would enter the mountains in large numbers to catch snakes. But this time, there were too many people, over 30 in total. Not only were there hunters, but also some young men and farmers who had never been in the mountains before. Even Wang Daniel was among them, which was quite odd. The group started a bonfire and set up an iron pot. The pot was filled with freshly caught snake meat, cut into segments. The meat was fresh and lively, and they poured in mountain spring water, cooking it over a high flame. Before long, the aroma spread everywhere. The group drank snake soup and ate snake meat, thoroughly enjoying themselves. Humans raise so many livestock, yet they're not satisfied. Why do they have to eat snakes? Zhu Hai watched his can being eaten, feeling both angry and involuntarily swallowing his saliva. Suddenly, he felt a bit hungry. Old brother Wang, how are you feeling? The old hunter Li San sat next to Wang Daniel, smiling as he asked. Wang Daniel took a sip of snake soup and said bitterly, "The mountains are still not for me. After this trip, I'll go home. It's almost the new year anyway. Haha, going home is good. Your little Neil will surely make a name for himself in the future." Li San laughed heartily. Wang Daniel hesitated for a moment and said, "Actually, I always feel that the immortals coming into the mountains so frequently and gathering so many people isn't just for catching snakes. It seems like they're looking for something." Li San interrupted him halfway. Li San's face turned serious and he said in a low voice, "Everyone knows what's going on. We shouldn't ask too many questions or overthink it. Just do our part and take the money." Wang Daniel nodded. At this moment, the two snake catchers stood on the outer edge of the crowd, discussing something with serious expressions. "Senior brother, now that we've found the place, these people are useless and might leak information. Why don't we?" The handsome young man took out a green-purple pill, his eyes flashing. The chubby middle-aged man immediately stopped him, saying coldly, "Fool, do you think the astrology bureau is blind? If we poison them, they will definitely find out." As cultivators, snake catchers couldn't recklessly harm mortals. The astrology bureau wouldn't stand by and do nothing. "So, what do you suggest, senior brother?" The handsome young man put away the pill, asking respectfully. The chubby middle-aged man snorted coldly, arrogantly saying, "There's a bear demon hibernating nearby." The handsome young man's eyes lit up and he cupped his fists, saying, "Senior brother, you're brilliant. No wonder you chose this place. You had a plan all along." The chubby middle-aged man struck a mysterious pose, remaining silent with his head held high. Zhu Hai heard every word of their conversation. Zhu Hai had been keeping an eye on these two with his divine sense and now felt a chill run down his spine. "Can't you kill people somewhere else?" He didn't care whether the humans lived or died. The problem was, could he still hibernate in peace? If 2 or 3 dozen people died, wouldn't the astrology bureau dig 3 feet into the ground to exterminate demons and monsters? And Zhu Hai knew the root of all this. There was a bear demon nearby. Before hibernating, Zhu Hai had checked the area and found no traces of demonic beasts. But if one had moved in after he started hibernating, there was nothing he could do. It was just bad luck. Bears were different Immortal, you can't just leave us to die. Li Sang rushed forward, grabbing the handsome young man's leg, only to be kicked away with a look of disgust. You filthy peasants caused this mess, and you have the nerve to ask for help. You brought this on yourselves. Don't bother me, Zhao Wenxiu shouted angrily, his face red. Junior brother Zhao, hurry up, the chubby middle-aged man urged from ahead. Zhao Wenxiu sped towards the back and leaped 10 meters, landing near Zhu Hai's cave entrance. Li Sang gritted his teeth, picked up his crossbow, and fired an arrow. Zhao Wenxiu dodged, and the arrow flew past him, but it hit his storage bag, scattering its contents all over the ground. Pills, jade bottles, talismans, and 2 jars of spirit wine fell out. One of the spirit wine jars shattered with a crash, and the wine flowed into the cave. Damn it! Zhao Wenxiu was furious. A mortal daring to attack an immortal was outrageous, but he had no time to deal with the mortal and bent down to pick up his things. He hadn't reached the mid-stage of Qi refining and couldn't retrieve items from a distance. Senior brother, help me, Zhao Wenxiu shouted. The chubby middle-aged man was very annoyed but stopped to help pick up the items, grabbing a handful of pills and stuffing them into his own storage bag. He picked them up, but whether he would return them later was another matter. Zhu Hai, hiding in the cave, saw the wine flowing down and some spirit pills rolling in, dissolving upon contact with the liquid. Zhu Hai quickly moved aside, pressing against the stone wall to let the wine flow past him. What did I do to deserve this? Zhu Hai cursed. The entire cave now filled with the smell of wine. At this moment, as Zhao Wenxiu was picking up a talisman, he suddenly squeezed it in his palm, infusing it with spiritual energy. What are you doing? The chubby middle-aged man's face changed, reaching for his storage bag, but it was too late. Zhao Wenxiu activated the talisman, and a burst of green light erupted, unleashing a fierce gale that blew the chubby middle-aged man away, sending him flying towards the bear demon. This sudden turn of events left Zhu Hai dumbfounded.